Welcome to the Lee Street Beat podcast. I am S. Hacker, one of the co-hosts of Lee Street Beat. What is Lee Street Beat? It is a new podcast that seeks to enlighten, entertain, and educate our listeners on issues that matter to all Americans. Lee Street Beat believes it's better to make a difference than a point. Lee Street Beat will make a point to make a difference. In this edition, we will be talking about what most people are talking about. Is Kanye cray-cray? With all his actions and statements this week, one has to wonder. What do you think about it, T the Man?
I think what Kanye said was despicable as an African American man. And it's not like maybe he hasn't been black while driving. It's an affront for his foreparents to say that they wanted slavery and it was a choice for them. Slavery has never been a choice for anybody that I know in modern times or even old times, that someone want to encapsulate themselves as a slave. We're not talking about Roman slaves where they can buy their way out. We're talking about American slavery, where you were born into slavery, your parents were born into slavery, and your children were born into slavery also. And you couldn't buy your way out until there was a war to actually kind of stop that. What Kanye is on some kind of mental, maybe psychosis. I don't know. Maybe he really didn't mean that in his sense of fashion, but whatever it is, he said it. He said it was a choice. And maybe he's talking about capitalism and corporations being slave to them, but he should say what he means. He got the platform. He has a worldwide platform, and he needs to be clear about what he means. Now, if he wants to embrace Trump, that's fine. That's him. That's his right as an American. But it's not his right to go holler that and to label all us African Americans and say that, hey, we wanted to be enslaved. Sandra, I know you got a lot to say about this, so why don't you tell us?
I got a lot to say because I'm a Kanye fan. I got a lot to say because I really, love his music and respect him. But I feel like at this point in time, me and Kanye, we really got differences right now. It's my understanding that he just started watching CNN. He's got a big platform and he is using it, and he is uninformed about what's going on. I am disappointed in Kanye. I'm disappointed in his comments. His mother was a professor at University of Chicago, so I know that he comes from education. His late mother, was in education. I don't know why Kanye hasn't picked up a book. I don't know why Kanye hasn't Googled or watched 12 Years a Slave or watched Roots. And I don't know why he doesn't understand that what he's saying is affecting everybody who loves him and follows him. And he's making just himself look confused, uninformed, and I know that he can be better. But right now, I don't really think that he's thinking. He says, I'm free thinking. You're not free thinking. You're not thinking at all. You definitely not thinking at all when you make statements about slavery being a choice. They got memes out of people sitting in the cotton fields with a laptop, trying to opt out of being a slave. You know what? It's a meme, but real talk, it's so for real. He's got so much power. We need people like him to, when they speak out, to be informed. And for you to say that, you are not free thinking. No, you're not free thinking. And that's why we're here to check him. That's what Lee Street Beat's about. I can't side with him on it. I might have even been guilty in the past of taking up for Kanye because I've been such a big fan. But, the things that he's been saying the last week or so are just so egregious that it really hurts my heart, And I think that, the hip hop world has really come out against it and come out against them. And some of it's been positive, shout out to T.I., man, for you, coming out there and sharing your thoughts and hopping on that track with him and trying to show another side. But it's like, you got Crips talking about, if they see him, jump on him, that they doing too much. But you know what? Kanye, what you said really upset people. I mean, now it's just one of those situations like, that's not right. I'm not, advocating for anything to happen to him, but that's the type of emotion that he's invoked by saying the words that he has said. And, you got people just going all the way to the right side and all the way to the left side. I'm done with him. We broke up. Man.
So, Hacker, I know you had something to say. I mean, you never without words. Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you really feel.
Okay, slavery as an institution was horrendous. To think that human beings were once considered property, and there was a war over the right to that so-called property. And again, I lived in a very red state, and they still, to a certain degree, some of them have forgotten that they lost the war again. And slavery is to black / African American people is like the Holocaust to the Jewish community. There are no good slavery jokes. There is no such thing as that slavery was a choice. First of all, you weren't even supposed to read to know that you had a choice.
Okay.
So
there's power in education.
It's power in education, and again, just you were property. You had no rights. So how could, if you were property, have any rights to say, well, I don't want to be property anymore? That's just illogical. I think that again, he may be free thinking, but all things free are not good for us, and that kind of free, Hacker doesn't need.
He's thinking free, but like I said, he's misinformed. So to me, I need for him to align himself with the facts. There's too much information out there for him to come out and say the things that he said and hurt a lot of people. Hurt a lot of people. It's got the country up in an uproar, and then you got the picture of him with the red hat, and then you got him, tweeting, that, with Donald Trump, again, he says, that he aligns himself with Donald. He says he just likes the fact that he was able to win and everybody thought he wasn't going to win. He says he doesn't agree with everything he says, but that he just likes the fact that he won. Well, you're not following what's really going on, because if you're following what's really going on in the White House, he is not advocating anything good for people that are poor, disenfranchised. His policies and laws are all seem to discriminate against those individuals who are people of color. He seems to have a problem with women. Anytime he responds to somebody, usually it's somebody of color, and it's usually somebody female out on Twitter. But if somebody, that's not African American or not a person of color, that he doesn't clap back at them. So I need Kanye to understand the trends and the things he's aligning himself with, and it just hurts the cause, it hurts young Americans out here that look up to him, and he's just uninformed and using his platform to further Donald Trump's agenda. I can't. What's up, T? I can't, man.
We're gonna continue this conversation with Kanye. Pray for him. That's all we can do. Harriet Tubman carried a gun when she did the Underground Railroad. There was a reason why, because people like Kanye felt that they want us. They had a choice in being a slave, and she's trying to get people to freedom. And Kanye, we're all trying to get to freedom. What Kanye talks about slavery was a choice. Hey, what in it? Slavery basically, even today, is a war crime. It's a part of a genocide war crime. Sex slaves, taking these migrant workers, turning them into slaves. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's a genocide. So, you know what? we're gonna check Kanye.
Oh, we're gonna check him. You know, and you know, that's all I can do. You know, because I feel like, you know, Lee Street Beat's platform is to try to, you know, disseminate, educate, and illuminate the truth. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Well, we're gonna continue this conversation some more. This ain't the last of it, but for right now, log on to LeeStreetBeat.com or go to our podcast on YouTube, which is Lee Street Beat Podcast. Thank you. Give us your comments. We welcome them, and we will reply to them at some point.
Hey, and check me out at Taste of Kanye's. I'll be out there Saturday interviewing. Check me out.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace out.
Deuces.